Well,
Nobody cares.
Hip hop is global. Rap is global.
Let me
hold on. Let me not let Ebro off the hook. I mean, we fucks with you. So now here the kid gloves come off. In the new system where you generate ratings, where you
So
operate.
the system's always been that way, but it's a little bit more complicated.
Okay. I mean,
it's become more scientific.
In the PPM system, where is there still a space for what everyone argues about? And people argue about this not just for radio, but they argue about it for blogs. They argue about the P word.
That's right.
The deadly P word.
Which is
payola.
Okay.
Is there still space for that?
For payola? If you want to lose your job?
Is there still space for someone influencing the influencers?
100%. What? My job is to monitor that.
Right.
That's my job, right? So if anybody on my staff took place in payola, not only would they lose their job, but I would lose my job.
And you would know because you'd be like, why are you playing that record?
Well, yeah. I know every record that K-Slay plays, every record that Rosenberg plays, I know where it's coming from. I could go find it. I know who's promoting it. I know where they're from. And if shit is like, yo, what is that, B? Where's that from, right? I could question them about it, right? The other piece of that is, you know, do people really believe, right, that somebody who makes $150,000 a year, $250,000 a year, is going to throw that away?
It's going to risk it
for some cash in a paper bag.
Some people might.
That make that much money.
Some people
might. You really believe
depends
that?
Depends on where that money's from. Depends on where that money's from.
What do you mean, where's it from?
Depends on how much money that is.
But so how much money do you think that these artists have to spend? Like, how much do you think it would take?
Depends on who's backing them. I mean, you know.
Let's frying pan it. Right here at Hot 97.
Budget.
What DJ here at Hot 97 needs street cash in their pocket? Because they already, because of the radio station, can do 3 to 4 nights a week at a club at $3,000 a pop. Or, well, it's called $1,000. So I'm making $3,000 extra a week cash just from being in a nightclub. So now I have my radio salary and I get endorsement deals. So show me the person that wants to give that up to help out Joe Blow rapper.
But all right, let's take it not from Joe Blow rapper. Let's take it from like the major signed artists. Like, what about, you know, like you don't want to offend Universal, you know, so you're gonna.
We offend Universal all the time. Cash Money is not happy with me right now.
Well, okay, but at the same time, you still are giving a lot. Like, there's a lot of burn towards major artists, and it's like not so much somebody just sliding you some cash. But then, you know, they support you by buying advertising through other ways. So how does that work?
So let's use an example. Wiz Khalifa just put out a new album. We're not playing Wiz Khalifa's new song.
Because
it hasn't gotten room to get on a playlist. There's been other things pushing up that
it's like a runway.
Yeah,
like a queue.
And some people get bumped.
It may not make it. You're saying it may not even make the rotation.
Right.
They bought advertising time. We gave away tickets to his concert. He came up and did interviews, but that didn't help his new single get on the box. Now, I like the song. It's Wiz Khalifa in the Weekend. I want to play the song. Haven't gotten there yet. The label is upset. How come you're not playing Wiz Khalifa?
A hot record.
Because it's a hot record. Don't have space yet. Right. Y'all got to wait your turn.
So it's real estate.
There's 60 minutes in an hour, and there's 24 of them in a day.
Right.
I have to play based on getting ratings the way I need to and based on the average time spent. That's why you hear a high rotation of music, right? So on average, every moment that somebody gives to the radio station in any radio station, mostly in New York, is about 11 minutes per occasion. On average. Now, there's people who listen 24 hours a day, and there's people who listen for 2 seconds. So the average in there is about 11 minutes per occasion. I get about 5 of those occasions a day, right? Which is why every time that person gives me an occasion, I want to make sure I'm hitting them with the biggest fucking song that I got.
You want to max out.
Because I want to turn that 11-minute occasion into a 12-minute occasion. Because if I can turn 5 of those occasions at 11 minutes into 12, I've increased my time spent on that day by 10 minutes. So on average, people listen about 3 days a week. what I've done for my total week time spent is probably pushed it up by a half an hour, which could increase my ratings a whole entire share. Right. So that's really why when you talk about heavy burn or rotation, it's based on how we get our ratings, right? Because we're saying, and back to our earlier part of the conversation, research and shit like that, I got this many records that are performing. I got this much time in an hour, and people listen this often at this frequency, so on and so forth. So I want to make sure I'm hitting on all cylinders all the time. But then you get to, like I said, a Flex, a Rosenberg, in places where we take risks. And back to the research part, if they focus on a record, if Flex is like, I love this record, I'm playing it, I'll say to them, you got to play it every day for the next month so I can measure it. So in those moments where people tune out, tune in, I got enough different moments to say, this record's going to perform like this. Now, let's open it up to 5 o'clock. And now enough. For the next 3 weeks, you're going to be on this record every day because now we got research that's saying it's moving in the right direction. Let's open it up. Okay, still performing. Let's open it up a little bit more. And that's how we graduate records from just being mix show records to being all-day records. So it's kind of like it's a system of doing things. But I don't want to get off the payola thing. You have to understand that these are careers that people have been doing for years. You know how often one of the DJs come up to me and say, yo, I really like this record, but this motherfucker ain't doing nothing for himself. This record is going nowhere, right? That happens every week. There's people who come up here that we know
So it's a fight then. Like you have a fight with your DJs. You have fights with
disagreements.
Flex. Right. Well, but I mean, it's the same thing.
So last night we were at the T.I. listening event.
Right.
T.I. has a record called Ball.
Right.
Okay? I like the record. It's cool. It plays in the club for like 90 seconds, right? And that's another debate we have where DJ will say, this record's fire, and I'll go, how long you play it in the club? 90 seconds, 2 minutes. If you don't play a record 2 minutes in the club, it's not a hit.
Right.
Because when I put it in rotation, I got to play it for 4.
Right.
So if you mean to tell me when you play it in the club for 90 seconds, I'm going to now turn and play it for 4 minutes on the box? It's not a hit.
It's not adding up.
Tell me when you playing it for 4 minutes, 3 minutes in the club, now it's a record that I could play on the radio. Right. There's tons of bands that make it dance, all these records. You listen to 90 seconds of those songs, you're over it. So I just leave those in the mix where cats jump in and out of records.
Right.
But T.I.'s got songs on his album, him and R. Kelly, him and CeeLo Green, right? Him and Pink. Real full-fledged songs, right? I'm like, yo, this shit is fire. Some of the DJs that was there that work here at the station was like, yeah, but he don't have one of them, you know, them things, you know what I'm saying? That trap music, that, you know what I mean? That strip club. I need, you know, this ain't really what the kids is into. I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about, man? This is good music.
Good music.
Why don't you like it? I'm just saying, like, because DJs and DJs here are influenced by their lenses, right? So your lens, if all you do every day is work 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. at a club, your lens, how you see culture and music, is different than the person who works 9 to 5, who's driving to and from work, taking their kids to and from school. So I'm looking for records for the 9 to 5ers. I'm not looking for records for the dope boy on the corner. I'm looking for records that will entertain people who are employed and have shit to do, right? So when they're in their car, which 75% of our listeners are doing when they're listening to radio, they're going to get something that is palatable through their lenses, right? And most of the time, research shows those are songs that are melodic, right? That have some sort of presence to them.
And incidentally, most of those songs are coming from the other regions.
Currently.
So do you think that's going to change?
If people want to make look, that's 18 months on this radio station was Paris, Jay-Z, and Kanye West. Now, you don't support New York rap. What's Jay-Z? Well, he don't count. You don't support New York rap. What about 50 Cent? Oh, he don't count. You don't support New York rap. What about Nicki Minaj? Oh, she don't count. You don't support New York rap. What about Fab? He don't count. New Yorkers have this thing where unless the person, and hip-hop in general, unless the person is unsuccessful and needs help, struggle, it don't count. Because, and you brought up the Fugees a while ago. Remember when the Fugees, like you said, Hot 97 broke the Fugees?
When they were
struggling. You know what happened with the Fugees? The Translator crew, the Fugees, got a bunch of melodic remixes from my friend Salam Remy. Then they found their sound, which happened to be melodic.
Right. Because I remember the record failed, and then y'all started playing them.
Right. They came out with How Many Mics and Fuji La.
Yep.
Fuji La was the A-side. How many mics was the B-side? Foo La La La. Lauren singing. At the time, and those that were there, Lauren did not want to sing. She wanted to be an MC. That was the first single. It was good. It did well. People played it. They got the album and found Killing Me Softly. In radio at that time, we were being called by the label, do not play Killing Me Softly. Don't play it. Lauren does not want to be a singer. They do not want to lose their underground hip-hop base. They want to be a rap group. You know what radio stations did? Fuck out of here. This shit is fire.
It's a hit.
And it was off to the races, right? Common was the underground champion. Champ, right? Resurrection, this one, that one. Kanye West signs to Good Music. Fuck out of here. Kanye done sold out. I mean, Common done sold out, this one, that one. Hip-hop always turns our backs on our stars unless they're struggling. Y'all know it. We see it all the time. All the time, right? So even when Jay Electronica, people was hearing, oh, Diddy might be managing them. No. What? No. You can't go out here and make money for yourself. What's wrong with you?
Right.
We do that all the time, man.
So you're saying it's a struggle mentality?
That because hip-hop comes from struggle.
Right.
So the truists want to continue to struggle, and the people who want to create art and have a career want to go out and do their best.
Right.
So it's a look, I love the yin and yang.
Nobody in hip-hop likes an amputee rapper, though.
What?
I'm just saying. Anyone listening to this podcast, if you're an amputee, if you're in a wheelchair, you got some kind of debilitating thing, we're not fucking with you, okay? We're not fucking with you.
That might not go over well with the Special Olympics.
Yo, let me ask you something, Ebro. You made a quote in 2009. Quote, the city is unique culturally, which allows us to play music and talk about things other stations cannot. Radio in New York City has always been more than just a jukebox. You have to be about something more than music to be successful here.
That's right.
How does that stand today?
Today, I feel like we're out of whack. Today,
thank you, because I think a lot of our listeners want to hear that.
Yeah,
what you exactly said.
Right, I feel like it's out of whack.
Right.
But the reason,
and that's what we're saying.
Right, the reason we're having this discussion is because I want to see who stands up. I want to see it.
Right.
So you're the agent provocateur right now.
You're rooting for the minor leagues in a sense.
I put myself on the plank so that y'all could take shots.
Right.
And all I did was seize the moment. B-Dot I didn't even really call B-Dot out.
Right.
I let that slide. I just grabbed the grenade. Right. And went out and ran out in the middle of a group of people with it and let it go off. Right. I didn't go at him. Right? I didn't go at Rap Radar. Right? I let everybody come at Hot 97 because that's kind of what we're accustomed to. Right? We're comfortable in that
You're that
position.
brand. We're
comfortable
that
in that
brand,
position.
that established brand that can take the shots.
And we like it out. Honestly, it's what's the
that's the motivation.
What's the superhero that is a Juggernaut that builds off you hit him and he start. That's what we are. That's how we see ourselves. Keep hitting us. Keep taking shots. That's what other stations built their brand on.
Sebastian Shaw.
We want that. I just know he's a Marvel comic.
No. So I mean, but salute Hot 97 because I mean the other brand.
No, listen, for your
the
podcast,
other brand wouldn't do that.
But for this podcast, I don't want y'all to walk away with salute Hot 97. Anybody listening to the Combat Jack Show, listening to y'all, that's not what
Fuck Hot 97.
I want that.
That's what you want.
Fuck Hot 97.
That. Hate me now.
No, not hate me now as if we're stunting on people, but like. Fuck Hot 97. I remember Ice Cube had a record on America's Most Wanted, Turn Off the Radio, right? And Dead Prez redid that record. I love that record.
Right.
When I got hired, that was one of the first records I got my hands on, and I was like, yo, let's play this.
Right.
Let's play. I want to play on a hip-hop radio station. Turn off your radio. Off the radio, right? Because that's that hip-hop shit. Being able to be like, nah. Like the morning Rosenberg was like, I don't like the fucking music on Hot 97.
Right.
When Star was here back in the day, he'd be like, nah, fuck that. I ain't playing that.
I'm playing anything else.
I'm playing this fire classic rock shit I like, whatever.
Right.
We can only do that in New York. That's something that I don't want to lose. But if you don't have people that's fighting for it and you don't have people that's willing to go to war for it, it's going to fade.
Right. Then how did New York have Big Boy on their airwaves for over a year?
No, he was on for a year. We tried something new. I like Big Boy. He's my guy. He had a syndicated show.
I'm not saying he's a bad dude. I'm just saying, how does that happen
It
here?
didn't feel right.
It did. We put it on. It didn't feel right. We moved it. Look, I put Sway on. Sway's from the Bay.
Right.
When I got here, the star shit had gone sideways. You know, that's a whole conversation for another day. And I was like, you know what? Sway's done mornings, MTV. Let's see what it looks like. So we tried some shit. I mean, look, we're a radio station. We try shit. Some shit works. Some shit don't work.
Last question, man. Your advice to somebody like a Joey Badass. He has the buzz. He has the talent. He has the kids that are liking him, but he's not in rotation.
Fuck rotation.
Right.
Do you.
Fuck rotation.
Do you. We'll find you.
Right.
And then at that time, you know, we'll deal with whatever. If you want to be mad. Look, there's artists that feel like they go out and work and work and work and we don't give them no shine and then we play them and they still got an attitude, not knowing that we've been watching you the whole time.
Like who?
Shit.
Sean Price?
Yeah, Sean don't really count. Cause I mean, I used Sean Price, and Price, I want to apologize, man. I kind of used you because I knew your fan base was going to be the one that went the hardest. Because if I just
and it worked. Your shot worked.
Yeah, because if I just was like Joey Badass and these other cats, they don't have enough brand.
You don't care about them enough yet.
Yeah, they don't have enough brand depth for their audience to be like, nah.
Right.
I knew that Sean Price having an album that's a great album, right? That the underground really liked. If I took that shot, people was gonna be like, nah, you're in violation now, sir. We're coming to
that's
get
violation.
you. Hashtag Hot 97. What'd you put?
Occupy Hot 97.
Yeah, that shit. I knew. I was like, yes, let's get this popping. So, I would say keep working. I would say you should be on tour. I would say Live Nation has what is known as earn-out deals, and if your brand is really that big, they will put you on tour and let you earn out. They have venues that they need to fill out. I don't know if a lot of people know that. All you got to do is build your buzz and your brand. They watching. AEG doesn't really do it, but Live Nation, where they got to fill up the Irving Plaza, Gramercy, and that way, every other month you could be cracking a show. Turn your show into a party. And also, don't get on fucking stage with 40 motherfuckers.
Don't do that. No, I hate that shit.
Have a show.
Motherfuckers get over 900 motherfuckers, B.
Yo, it happens at Summer Jam every year, and I'm like, yo, come on,
that shit is
man.
not hot.
It's not fly,
Right.
man. It's not. And I don't know if you're just insecure as a performer. So
if you want to show your muscle or your Mobb Deep or whatever.
I don't know,
right.
but people don't care no more.
Right.
That's another thing that's happened to hip-hop. I have this discussion all the time. One of the things that happened to hip-hop is all of that tough talk got kind of swallowed up by the fact that real tough shit is happening on the internet every day.
Yes.
So if you in your video talking about you about to do something to somebody, the kids out there are seeing motherfuckers get their wigs cracked for real. Them white boys is fucking each other up in that MMA shit. Right. They jumping off buildings on skateboards and BMXing and all that wild shit. So these kids, black kids growing up in the hood is like, I mean, you say you tough, but you ain't doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just seen a kid jump off his roof onto his boy's back in some backyard wrestling shit. That shit is hard. So all that tough talk and all of that, nobody believes that shit no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the people, and forever and ever and ever, the people who's really thug, the people who's really busting guns, they don't make records.
They don't make records, B.
They don't. Matter of fact, they don't even want no problems.
Right.
They don't want no problems. They want to go home and sit down. And another conversation we always have is real gangsters like love songs.
Old Sam Cooke songs.
Songs that
Otis
mean some
Redding
shit.
songs.
So when you listen to the radio and you're like, yo, why they playing all these love records? Because family men, people with jobs, people with children and wives and shit, they want to hear. Nobody don't want to hear no 5'2" dude talking about he about to knock somebody out on a record. You stressing me out, man. I just got off work, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? And some of that shit is entertaining and lyrical miracle flipping and all of that shit is cool and you know what I mean?
Miracle.
You know what I'm saying? Quotable for like somebody who's, spherical and lyrical miracle.
Yo, I'm going to tell you though, man, it's just because I'll tell you the hottest New York album right now
Yeah, tell me.
is Rock Marciano.
Really?
Got to listen to that album.
I'm gonna do it.
Because it's on his album of the songs that Hot 97 used to play.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yes.
You say used to play.
Used to play.
But do you feel like people still want to hear versions of what we used to play? Because then I would argue, well, why don't we just play what we used to play?
Right. And that's an issue
because
also.
those are familiar songs.
That's an
those
issue
is hits
also.
already.
Hot 97 is built on a rich history of classics.
Right.
I'm talking about the Puff songs, the
Whatever.
Little Kims, the whole nine.
Whatever.
There's a lot of recurrence
Yeah.
that we don't hear.
I'll give you that.
And those are market tested.
Yeah, I'll give
I don't
you
think
those.
people will turn
I'll
off
give
the
you
radio
those.
if they
I'll
hear
give you
Big
those.
Papa.
Ebro,
No.
people love retro shit.
No,
That's why folks are
want
lining up for
listen,
Jordans that were
listen,
released.
We're currently the only station that has a motherfucker that comes on every day at 12 o'clock repping that shit.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I don't disagree with
Right.
you. When earlier we talked about architecture and all of those things, and because of how the architecture is designed of the rotation of the records,
The runway and the queue.
the runway and the queue, and really just the records. Here's the records that are humongous and urgent,
Right.
and here's the records that are classic.
Right.
That urgency drives a different level of passion when it's like the new whatever in hip hop. We are a culture of the new. Y'all know that.
Right.
We love the retro, but when the new whatever comes out,
The kids
Gotta
flock
have
to it.
You gotta
Right.
have it.
so the way the station is designed is based on a level of right now urgency.
Right.
Niggas do not like the new Jordan though.
The new Jordan,
New
they
Jordan
got
is
problems.
suspect.
But they continue to release.
New Jordan
y'all saw
is
the,
suspect.
the blacked out fives though.
Yeah.
The blacked out fives. But once again, they're refurbishing, and that might be your point to the Rocky Marciano.
I think it is. I think it is the point.
shining off that feeling
Right.
and putting it in a new packaging.
Right.
So there might be vibe. Look, Joey Badass has that feeling as well. He's got that
reminds
feeling
me
as
so
well.
much of Nas.
Yeah, he's
Old
got
Nas.
that feeling. And then there's this kid from Queens. I don't know if y'all heard. I just got put onto him. Young Prince. Y'all heard of this guy?
I heard of Young Prince. I heard the name Young Prince.
It's kind of tough. I just heard it honestly today. That's
Yeah.
why I just brought it up. But he's from Queens and he can rhyme, so I don't know if y'all into that. But listen, I would check it out.
Okay,
But
excellent.
I would love to see Rocky Marciano, Joey Badass. We've done shows with. We got Flatbush Zombies on the way.
Nice.
I-
Esquire.
all of those. I would love to see all of those individuals do shows together,
Right.
tour together.
Y'all hear that, internet?
Build your fan base together.
I was gonna say that one of the key things in the resurgence, or not resurgence, but in the South and in Miami specifically, was you would have records with all of them together,
Right.
videos with all of them in the videos, them
right.
all doing shows,
Supporting one another.
together. Exactly.
Right. yeah,
Another
nah.
thing, like you were saying though, is like New Yorkers need to, because I'm from Houston, and it's like I grew up with melodic rap. You know, that's Houston has always been melodic, and it's like New York, especially the '90s sound, wasn't very melodic. So when everything else started blowing up and you hear melody, people are gonna relate to that more. So New Yorkers really gotta make songs, like you were saying, like make stuff that appeals to more than just New York
And study music.
and study music.
Right? Like, don't forget that just because it's hip hop, it's still music.
Right.
So there's certain
Keep it
rules.
simple,
No,
stupid.
there's certain rules. Like, that's not in key, sir.
But I'm saying, it's
like,
things like just knowing
that does not sound good. I don't give a fuck what you're saying. You
doesn't sound
don't
good.
sound
So
good.
sonically,
Yes.
a Trinidad James fits the bill.
Yo, Trinidad James is tough. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. As ignorant as that shit is, and we can all agree. Matter of fact, I had a conversation with him about how ignorant it was. When that shit comes in, there's a certain
Response.
response. The chord, look, and if you get into chords and the chord choice, the progressions, the loop, all of those things. He's playing. Look, I don't know if he knows music. I don't know what his shit, but the way they play, you know how hard it is to make a rap record and not rhyme, and it still sound like he's not even rhyming
He's not
half
rhyming.
the time.
He's rhyming sloppily.
What are you saying right now?
I felt like he rhymes better than Cash Out.
You might be right.
I felt
You
like
might be right.
I mean that's why I kind of fucked with the Trinidad James, Ogle, everything. I was like, man, this is like Cash Out, but somebody who's doing it better.
But you know how swagged out you gotta be to just say whatever on a song and people believe you and like feel it? Like, it's ignorant. No one is saying that this is the second coming of Rakim. That is not what this discussion is about.
It's not about that.
It is about a record that makes people feel a certain way and they're responding to it. And how about this? The kid comes from a whole hipster Atlanta movement where this song was like the song at those beer and taco parties that they have down there that are for the colleges. This actually grew out of a movement.
Trended out of that.
Out of that, then touched the radio, and then those fans were the ones watching it on the video, and then DJs got to it. Like
Once again, it's scientific. It's scientifical.
No, it's very organic.
But it's
organic.
organic.
That's
It's a
organic,
real
It's also-
thing.
it hit all the numbers, or it's hitting all the numbers. in the
Yeah,
form
and
of
then now throw that bitch on at a strip club.
Right.
Throw that shit on where people is partying. That shit, when that shit drops in and that fucking horn hit is in there,
Yeah, throw the shit
and
on
motherfuckers go
at the
Papa
roller rink.
Molly, I'm sweating. Woo! Everybody do that shit at the club.
Oh, Public Enemy.
Yes, sir.
They're about to be inducted into the Rock and Roll,
As
Rock and
they
Roll Hall
should.
of Fame. That's our culture.
As they should.
Do you guys have anything to do will you guys do anything to support that? Because I think that's also
You
important.
mean in what way?
Just
Play
in
more
terms
Public Enemy,
Public Enemy,
talk more about it, celebrate it, yes.
Because I think that's
celebrate
important.
it, yes.
That's important.
Yes, 100%. Contrary to popular opinion, Public Enemy, as big as Fight the Power was never a radio group. Never.
Radio suckers never play me.
Exactly.
Right.
Went at it all the time, right? He was talking about BLS. He was talking about Kiss FM at that time, right? And remember, he was a radio guy. He came out of college radio. Flavor Flav had a show at Hot 97. There's been things that Hot's done in the past to support, whatever. But I guess I say that to say that you don't have to be on the radio to have a career and matter in hip-hop. And if people are willing to do work and be about some shit, you're going to get yours. It's going to come to you whether Hot supports you or not. I understand it's the hip-hop station in New York, and we have an obligation. And we try to fill that obligation. To some people, it's satisfactory. To others, it's not. We're comfortable with that, too. But put in your work, man, and make sure your music is good, and make sure your brand is developed, and make sure that you out here doing your research and doing your work and having your relationships with whether it's producers, DJs, whatever. Look, people don't like that we play Papoose. People don't like it. You know what I'm saying? People don't like it.
Me and Papoose have some kind of history.
Yeah, I know. I watch it. People don't like it, right?
Right.
But Papoose stood outside this radio station every day for 4 fucking years. You know what I'm saying? Because he was getting out of the pen.
I wanted to ask you about that.
He was getting out of the pen,
Right.
and he didn't have shit. Mano used to come to us, and we would be like, this sucks. You got to learn how to make songs. And he would work on it. And these is guys that just got out.
You got to stand outside of Hot 97 for 4 years, B.
You know how many people used to
gotta
stand
put in the work.
outside
Yeah.
on K-Slay's show on fucking Thursday? It would be hundreds of people outside.
That was their only shot.
Car doors open. Slay, there would be crowding the door. Slay would be like, yo, I seen you out here 5 weeks in a row. Give me a record.
Boom.
That's how Papoose, him and Papoose had beef at first. Because Papoose ran up on him, and he was like, "Who the fuck is you running up on?" And he loved, y'all know what K-Slay's background is. He's original in this. He wants to give you a shot, but he's still gonna hit you with, do your work. You know what I'm saying? And now K-Slay's at the point in his career where he done helped so many people get on that don't even speak to him anymore now that they on, that he's like, I don't give a I done tried to help.
Right.
Look, I asked him about Nicki Minaj the other day. He was the first one to support Nicki Minaj. He don't fucking hit him back.
Right.
You know what I mean? When Nas and Jay went at each other, and he don't even like to talk about this, he chose Nas's side. Because him and Jay was never really moving like that.
Right.
Nas flaked on him and didn't come to his videos. So, we watch these guys go up, go down. I don't know where K-Slay and Nas' relationship at today, but we watch these guys go up, come back down, have problems, get hot, get put back on, not talk to us, hate our guts, love us to death. I mean, that's
the whole
just
spectrum.
That's just the plight of being in the radio business,
yeah.
man. Like, but you got to put in your work, B. Just like, look, Combat Jack is doing radio, right? I knew today that this conversation was going to be an educated conversation because you want to do great radio.
Of course.
Right?
I want to do great work.
Right.
I want to do great work.
But if you were the type of person that followed everything that you saw on Twitter, we'd have been up here calling each other all type of motherfuckers. Fuck you. I'll split your fucking wig to the white meat. You fuck boy, motherfucking all
Fuck
that.
boy is the new sucker MC.
Yeah, like,
Fucky bird.
Yeah. All that bullshit that these fucking children talk about on Twitter that ain't really about shit, right? But once again, we're having a grown man conversation, quality, about our culture and trying to advance it, right? But some people only listen to this bullshit that is being shoveled to them instead of doing their homework about how business operates, right? You heard Just Blaze talking about, look, I want to help motherfuckers, but their business ain't right. Same shit applies across the board, man. Like, these are businesses that are paying people's mortgages. Motherfuckers ain't up here. This ain't no fucking hobby. Niggas ain't up here trying to fucking be out the door tomorrow. Niggas is trying to pay their mortgages, take care of their families, and make sure we're doing shit that not only helps protect the brand, because look, if Hot 97 was in trouble, I would not have a job.
Right. And that's
Like, be clear.
And that's the
like,
bottom-
it's
and
not
that-
like
that's the
my
bottom line.
father owns the company.
Right.
Right? I'm a half black, half Jewish dude that wears fucking saggy jeans, has a beard, and comes to a fucking Fortune 500 company every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I wasn't successful, do you really believe they would keep me employed?
No, you'd be out. You'd be out the fucking door.
Quickly.
Right.
Quickly.
Get it.
So we're running a business. Right. We're trying to be successful. We
get it.
are winning. We're in a battle with a serious competitor who doesn't give a flying fuck about none of this. Where's their underground show?
Shots
What
fired.
risks are they taking? None.
Mm.
They don't take no risks. On the radio's hollering what's popping in other cities. Right? All day long I hear that shit down there. Oh, this is popping in fucking South Carolina. And this is popping in Atlanta. Y'all not helping nobody around here. You know what I'm saying? And that's why
Do they even broadcast from New York?
I never.
Don't they pump that shit in from Dallas, Texas, them other people?
I don't know, man.
Okay.
All I know is
You
we
won't
take
say it.
shots
I'll
and
say
we're
it.
comfortable with taking shots.
Right.
We put in our work. We have people employed from this city that grew up in this hip hop city and that have been purveyors of this culture for a period of time. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people think we're old, some people think we're out of date. Whatever the fuck it is, we're still a part of the conversation and we're still putting in our work, right? And trust me, the moment it's not successful, it won't be here.
Of course.
Nor will I, nor will the music that's being played. And do you honestly believe
Should be ESPN.
that a major corporation wants to play young black men talking about their fantasies and dreams?
Not at all. Not at all.
The only reason it's happening is because they can make money doing it.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's what this is about. Like, nobody wants us occupying, how long we been here? 2 hours.
2 hours.
Of their time.
Yeah.
They got shit they got to do.
Yep.
And we're sitting up here arguing about hip hop and rap and shit. Motherfuckers like, yeah, whatever, man. Whatever.
Yo, Ebro, man, thank you.
No. Hey,
Thanks
I
for
appreciate
coming
y'all,
on a
man.
Combat Jack, and thanks for allowing us to invade and occupy
No, listen.
Hot 97.
And
It's an
anytime-
important conversation.
No, but
and it's not
anytime
just the
people
beginning,
don't
it's not
like
just
some
the-
shit-
It's not just the end. This is an ongoing conversation.
do it.
And I thank you for your honesty and your candor.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, man.